Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High on this Thursday edition. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning. I am well, except I screwed up
Liar.
my lower back, so I am out of commission on anything active for like 2 weeks, and limiting my sitting to like 30 minutes at a time.
I am the polar opposite of that. I have been training the house. I don't know if people don't realize how big I am in real life. I have been training like you won't believe, and I've never been in such good shape. So I'm sorry, Tone. I don't sympathize. I mean, I sympathize, but I can't appreciate how you feel. I'm going to go into the charts before I bite the boss's hand here. Hey, look at Bitcoin. Yo. Nice. All right. So let's just review. We're on the 4-hour time frame right now. In last night's show, last night's show, we had, I reckon the price was about what do you reckon it was? Under what, 115, something like that. We
started to pop, and last night's show was that green star candle.
Right, but when I was doing my analysis, we were down at 114. Right, we hadn't popped yet.
Right.
That happened
We were
at the end
doing
of
the
show.
analysis. Right, that candle popped in like the last hour of the 4-hour candle. So if you flip it to the 1-hour chart, you'll see the pop. You'll see that pop on a 10 a.m. candle.
Gotcha. And I remember specifically saying in last night's show, I really like the price here because of the great double, the higher low that we had put in. So that's why I put that line in as what I would say is a great stop loss at 112,800, whatever. When the price was back down at 114, and I said that's a real good buy, because you got a really well-defined stop loss. So I can get rid of this line right now. That's a matter. That was a good buy. I hope someone took advantage of that. In the show, towards the end of the show, we had that great lift, which got us above the 50 simple moving average, but really stalled out at the 200. That candle, on the next candle, we came up to touch like to the dollar of the 200 simple moving average here, and got rejected. The beauty is that we came back down to the 30 simple moving average, and stayed above it, and then had that great pump out of the green wave, which is what really what I wanted to see. Once again, green diamonds inside the green wave. Links in the description below for 30% off alphanumerics. If you ain't got it, you should have it, because that's green diamonds inside the green wave. A 4-hour time frame. Like, let's appreciate that for a second. Fantastic. Now we're outside the wave, especially after that second high low. Fantastic. We got stalled out to the dollar on Tone's acceleration line on the previous 4-hour candle. This is now a green diamond on the 4-hour time frame, looking really good that we came back down to retest the 200 once again in the vicinity of the breakout point, give or take. Now we've worked our way back up. I want to see us break this acceleration zone. That is fantastic. This black line that you can see right here, which is almost married to with a price that the place where that acceleration line is of course what we have been talking about. This is a really critical area as far as I'm concerned. It's what I've been talking about all week, is that we need to get back above that acceleration line, that black line, because that's the point of breakdown. This is the channel that we were stuck in for quite some time. We broke down, got the great green diamonds. Now we've come back to it's a throwback to retest the breakdown point. This could be a critical point for a rejection to fade the price. So we're not in the clear yet. But if we get back inside that channel, it really negates that throwback to the breakdown point, especially if we could get back above 118, we'll call it 119. Oof. Boy, oh boy, will I be excited if we can break this support and resistance zone here at 118,900. Man, bang, let's go. Let's do that. That's the 4-hour time frame. The daily, much the same. We are smack on that 30 simple moving average right now, which is smack on the point that we broke down from this thing. So it's very, very clear to me that we've come down. Great support on the 50 simple moving average. 1, 2, 3 candles. We popped out, came back, retested the 7. Now we're stuck below the 30. We can close, if we can close today's candle above 117 and get a close above that 30 simple moving average, I think tomorrow is really sunny for some upside. The daily, I have high hopes and high faith in. Let's do that. Weekly, now we're looking quite nice. The MRI counts reset. Tone will talk about that. But we've still got 3.5 days left on this candle. This was a really potentially nasty candle. This is still an incorrect candle as it stands right now. We closed the week. We came down, retouched as a 7, closed the week above the 7 simple moving average, and this should be a wick down here and then just green above the 7 simple. So I always say on the weekly time frame, if we are above the 7, the 30, the 50, the 200, if we're above all the alphanumerics moving averages, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to worry about. You're long. You're happy. All right. That's it's basically the only thing that I ever really, really say. This RSI, we've been talking about this divergence forever. It's rounding up for now. We'll talk about that later as we go on. We've avoided a cross on the MACD as it stands right now. Nothing else is of concern. Well, let's just ride this out and see if we can close this week above the 7 simple on the weekly. And we'll do it on the show tomorrow. So that's all I'll say about that. I'm satisfied. I'm happy. I like this kickoff. Hey, if you like kicking off and you like leverage trading and you like non-KYC exchanges, you'd be remiss to not follow through with this great promotion we've got on Blowfin. And if that KYC doesn't bother you at all, then I would definitely look into BitGet. There we go. I'm back to BitGet because BitGet I think is one of the probably the best exchange in the world as far as I'm concerned. Tone, like and subscribe, share it with your friends, use the Discord group. All the bots are in trades right now, so that's very exciting. I hope that they can kick off. What are we missing, mate? What did I miss?
No, you didn't miss anything. I will. I'm just going to go really quickly. The monthly chart is now looking very good. Another green candle is great, even if this month does not take us to a new all-time high. As long as we get a new all-time high close, we are inching closer to a monthly MRI top, and hopefully there will be a blow-off month where we add another $10,000 to $20,000 into the price of Bitcoin in one given month, and hopefully that month comes right as the MRI top monthly coming in. Now, my weekly candles are accurate. I don't know why yours weren't, because we're using the same software and the same index, but this is where the candle is supposed to open. We have, gone back up halfway up the candle. We do need to go up a little bit more. We have to go up a lot more and make basically almost a new closing high in order to maintain the weekly MRI count. But I would actually prefer if we break the weekly MRI count and then create a green star candle. Not next week, but the week after, as we break above 120. That would set up a brand new MRI count. And you can see in the last MRI count we had, candle number 3 of the MRI count after the green star was the big massive candle that added $10,000 to the price of Bitcoin. I would love to just see that repeated. We are looking very, very close to what we had before. We avoided a red star candle this time, so it's even, less scary on this go around. If we could, reset the MRI count into a green 1 next week and then get this clean little green star candle that isn't a breakout candle the week after, and then bam, on candle number 3 we get another 10 or maybe even a $15,000 upswing. That would take us right into that target of 135 to 140,000, which is my the bottom of my target zone on target number one. I do have two targets. We have target number one, which is around 150, give or take 10,000. So anything from 140 to 160 is target number one. And target number two is all the way at 210. I'm very confident we're going to hit target number one in this bull run. Are we going to hit target number two in this bull run? I think it's possible. I think we got a shot. And as the year winds down, we're going to talk about the timing of this. How long can this bull run last? So that's pretty much the weekly candle. The one thing I'm going to add to the daily, Matt, you said if we can get above 117, everything, you're very, very happy and you're looking for the big breakout. I'm going to add one more to that. I don't just want to see us break 117. I need something else. I don't consider a moving average broken until we get an entire candle past the moving average, or at the very least, an entire body of a candle past the moving average. So you can see right back here on July 29th, we had a full body past the candle, not just the close. And then the following candle as well, we had a full body past the candle. We didn't get a full candle past the moving average. That didn't happen till all the way on August 25th. But then we even had a huge body past the candle. So this is what I need in order to consider the moving average broken. So here's an example where I do not consider the moving average broken, is where we closed below the moving average and then never traded fully below it. So that's the one thing I will add is, for me, just closing above 117 is not enough. I need ideally an entire candle with the wicks above the moving average, or at the very least, the body of that candle. And the bigger the body, the more relevant it is. So a little tiny body like this doji candle below the moving average that is still rising is not a big concern for me. The following candle, now that the moving average is not rising anymore, now it's flat, it is a little more concerning. But the following candle, where you had a huge body below the moving average and now the moving average is declining, this is now one tiny step away from the ultimate concern. And the ultimate concern is, of course, a full candle below the moving average. But this candle started so far below the moving average that by the time this candle begins, you already know that the price is in trouble. So that's the only caveat I will say. I will also add that while the MRI right now looks great and the structure of this candle looks great, I have to assume that we are in a rejection scenario until proven otherwise. So just like I have to assume that we are in a support scenario off of the 50 period moving average, like we were on August 2nd, you have to assume support until proven otherwise. Here you have to assume rejection until proven otherwise. So I am anticipating a rejection, but I would love to be proven wrong. Now, I'm going to jump right into the 1 hour chart, because on the 1 hour chart, we have, the trifecta of a rejection here. First of all, this candle started to crash at 10 a.m. Eastern time. You guys know what I think about 10 a.m. reversals. Here's a 1 hour chart, and look where the top was made. The top was made at 9:59, basically. The highest hourly close in a long time was literally at 10 a.m. today. And here we are going down at 10 a.m. Does it mean we're going to go down to new lows? No. But it does mean that this is where you really want to be careful and lock in your gains. Maybe, if you're a very short-term day trader that likes to trade with leverage, good place to maybe pick up a leverage short trade. The 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is absolutely key. We'll try to bring you more shows that are at 10 a.m. or, start 5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes later, but closer to 10 a.m. And it's also an MRI top on the 1 hour chart. And also this trend line that I've been, following for like multiple weeks now, since the end of last month. And you guys remember this red zone that I drew like over a month ago, or close to a month ago? Well, guess what? It literally is in that zone. And while I will see this part as a bit of an anomaly, this was the original area, and I said, hey, if we go below this zone, we're in serious trouble. And I was actually very surprised we rebounded from 115 so easily and made it all the way back to 119. The moment we got into 115, I was very, very confident we were going to reach 111. We did reach 111, but not the way I expected. And now this exact zone, and Matt had this black line there, is now resistance. So again, not only is there a moving average on the daily chart that is critical right at this spot, we also have this area which used to be support, and ever since July 31st, or maybe even July 25th, depends on how you look at it, has become very, very serious resistance. All of this combined basically created the perfect storm of rejecting the price right at 10 a.m. this morning. And if I even jump to a 5-minute chart, I mean, when we were starting the show, it was in full rejection mode. And then while Matt was speaking, we rebounded all the way back, and now we're going back down again. This is very concerning for me that we are dealing with a rejection right here, right now. I would love to see Bitcoin break above it, but I am skeptical that it will. Also, in yesterday's show, I did say that, hey, as that rebound was happening, I did say, hey, maybe we still got a shot at making it up to 116. But it did not change the fact that originally, when we both predicted that we're going to rally into 116, we both expected it to get rejected at 116. This was our expectation 5 days ago. So I don't see why that would change now. Yes, the MRI on a daily is looking great. And the MRI on a monthly is looking great. But I'm not walking away from my statement 5 days ago that once you rally into 116, it's probably the end of a dead cat bounce, if this is in fact a dead cat bounce. The way to know it's not a dead cat bounce is to get a full candle above the 20 period moving average. So you need a candle, you need a 24-hour period where the low is no lower than 117 for 24 hours. And then we can discuss the bullishness of this chart. But right now, all I'm going to talk about is get ready for a high probability of a rejection right here, right now, until proven otherwise. That's pretty much it on Bitcoin. I'm going to glance at the S&P 500. Don't really care about shitcoins today. Gold is looking great. Unlike Bitcoin, gold looks nothing like that chart. Gold looks like it's ready for a massive breakout to 3,500, probably getting close to this acceleration line. This is as bullish as it gets. We have a monthly in a very similar state as Bitcoin. It's in the middle of its MRI count. The weekly, on the other hand, on a monthly is on this green star candle that is on the verge of giving us a new weekly closing high, which is incredible. So the gold chart is very, very bullish. The silver chart is going to be bullish next week when we get the same green star candle as gold. So that's looking good. Oil is not looking interesting at all. And here's the S&P 500, which started off really, really strong this morning. And at 10 a.m., it broke down. I'll mention one quick thing on the MRI part here, on the 10 a.m. reversal part here. This is not a 10 a.m. reversal trade for me on the S&P. However, normally what I want to see is something like this into 10 a.m. and then spot a reversal opportunity. But this is still a 10 a.m. trade. I would have traded. I just would not have traded it at 10 a.m. I would have traded it on this candle here, this 10:05 candle, when it started breaking down below the lows. This would have been a 10 a.m. acceleration trade, which in a way is a safer trade, but it does give me a very, deep stop loss. But it's a safer trade. So not a 10 a.m. reversal, a 10 a.m. acceleration. I don't talk about the 10 a.m. acceleration trades because they're not as common. But when they do appear, They are very, very clean. And you have another one that just happened 5 minutes ago. So yes, this would have been another opportunity for me to either double down on my original acceleration trade, or what probably would have happened is I would have taken my profit from the acceleration trade on the MRI buy right here, or when I saw some strength, I'm getting like, 3 out of 4 bullish candles here. This ends my bearish trade. Worst case scenario, my stop loss gets hit literally right here on this wick. But then I get another opportunity to enter the same trade when you break down below this prior swing low. And right now, I am very, very bearish on the S&P 500, and it's actually very disappointing. The S&P 500, opens so good with a big gap to the top. It starts to trade up, and then something happens, some kind of news. Maybe Trump said something. Maybe some kind of economic metric came out today. We can take a look. If there was a 10 a.m. economic metrics, I like to go to FinWiz. It's just a quick way of looking at any. Where are they here? Here they are. There was nothing really at 10 a.m. Wholesale inventories and natural gas inventories, that is not relevant. Nothing relevant came out today on the economic front. So I don't know what caused this reversal at 10 a.m. I got a default to, a statement from the White House. But again, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. I've just been very frustrated with other statements from the White House that just derail any bullishness in the markets. I can't seem to get back to my charts. So this is a good time. Oh, here they are. But that's it. I don't really have anything else to say. I don't know. The computer is now slow. Let me. I don't know. Matt?
No, mate, I just let you cook today. That was terrific. That was a terrific assessment. I love that the S&P it closed that gap that I mentioned on Monday's show, which I wanted it to close for Bitcoin to get back. Exactly the level that I was looking at on Monday was that could we get back inside that range that I had on the 4-hour time? Those two parallel lines that I had on. Could we get back inside that range above 117? And to do that, I needed the S&P 500 to close that gap that it put in earlier on Monday's show as well. So the S&P has definitely done that, and we're knocking on the door for the Bitcoin as well. So as long as I think the S&P keeps rallying, I think that there's every chance that Bitcoin can really kick off as well. So I'm really excited.
I'll glance at one last thing because it was asked yesterday. The Mexican peso.
Yep. It's hard. It's hard. Our good viewer, great viewer.
Yeah. So Mexican peso is, fairly strong right here. This is the weekly chart. We can also look at the monthly chart. Look at that beautiful MRI top on the Mexican peso. It's been appreciating since the MRI top, and I don't see why it would stop. It looks like the Mexican peso should appreciate against the U.S. dollar. And let's see where Mexico's headed. Mexico would love to join the BRICS and walk away from the U.S., but unfortunately, based on their geographic location on the planet, they cannot join the BRICS, and they are tied to the U.S. They're tied to the U.S. manufacturing sector. They are tied to the U.S. Immigrationally. Trump did close off the border with Mexico, but it wasn't the Mexicans that were infiltrating the U.S. It was other people from Latin America and Africa and even some Asia. They were just using the Mexican border. So Trump has not yet pissed off Mexico to such an extent that they would, cut ties with the U.S. like India is starting to do. India has canceled their purchases of U.S. Warplanes, the F-16s, and they are now going to be buying Russian military equipment. This is what happens when Trump decides to put a tariff on Mexico. He put a 25% tariff, not 100 as he threatened. So the markets didn't react as much, but it already deflected a major economic stimulus to the U.S. with India buying American military equipment, and instead they're now going to be buying Russian military equipment. So due to the geographic position of Mexico, Mexico cannot enter any major strategic alliances with the BRICS, or Mexico would be the next Ukraine, due to the U.S. invasion. Same with Canada. But yeah, it looks like their currency is appreciating, which is good or bad, depending on how you look at it. If you are a tourist going to Mexico, or if you are an American living in Mexico that lives on dollars, this sucks for you. If you are a Mexican, it's great for you. Your currency is appreciating. If you are a manufacturer in Mexico, this is not good, because now your goods are going to be more expensive to export. But if you are, most countries would prefer their currency constantly weaken over time than strengthen, because people at the top of nations, whether you're the politician or you are, if you have first access to money, you have first access to printed money. So you never have to worry about losing purchasing power of the currency, because you can always, create more money for yourself, or you can always borrow cheaply. But if you are a regular Mexican citizen, this is great. Your pesos are, international goods become a little bit cheaper for you. So any Chinese goods that make it into Mexico, it's great. They become cheaper. There you go. There's your little currency lesson for the day.
Just can you bring up the yen? Sorry, I know you got to go. Let's bring up the yen. I want to see the yen USD.
All right, this is the USD yen pair, and this is also the monthly chart. Matt, you bought your house right here at the weakest point in the yen, right there in July of last year. It's been 1 year since you moved over to Japan. And the yen is consolidating near the top, and I believe the yen is preparing for more devaluation against the US dollar. I do not see this as a very bullish pattern. Next candle, if the yen devalues to 150 or above, you're going to get a monthly green star candle, and that's not good.
I would love that. I would love a week yen.
Right. So again, Matt is not an American, but a Westerner living in Japan. So for him, the cheaper the yen, the easier life is, especially when you earn your living in a stronger currency. So just like I explained with Mexico, a weaker yen is great for Matt. It's also great for the politicians of Japan. It's also great for export industry in Japan, but it really sucks for the Japanese working men.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Lucky
I hate one of them.
Yeah, and the currency fluctuation is probably the biggest thing that puts the elites and the government at conflicting odds with their population. Like the government of Venezuela doesn't give two shits that the currency is hyperinflating, because they can always print more currency for themselves. Okay, they also have first access to the currency, where they can buy inflation protective assets with the freshly currency that they just created. They also have access to natural resources of the country, which are inflation protected. But the average citizen of that country does not have these resources. So this is where, your government and, the people that earn a salary in the currency of that government are at maximum, opposite ends of what the value of the currency should be. And this is why it's always debatable whether we should have fiat currencies or be on a hard currency.
All right, let's wind this show up. The chat's getting a bit political.
Okay. Nothing I said was political today.
No, it's just getting heated debates about tariffs, and I don't give two tosses. I ain't no American. Hey, I got a question for you. When was the first? Do you remember the date of the first time you ever appeared publicly talking about Bitcoin? You got to be close to 10 years.
Yes, I do. Well, publicly appeared on the digital internet media or in person?
I,
Because
wa-
in
I want to say the first. Oh shit! The first time you ever spoke to a group or televised that we have it documented of, I want to celebrate your decade in the industry. When do you reckon that would be? It's got to be close, right?
yes, it would have been. It's been over a decade actually. It would have
Shit.
been in
Is it?
2014. It would have been around June 2014. So 11.
Oh, that sucks. We missed it. Over 10 years. We're getting great questions here. Because I wanted to point out there was a couple of
I gotta.
comments.
I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you. I have a favorite old one. My
Yeah.
favorite old one is from early 2015, but I'll find you the very very first one,
Can we
and
repost it? Can we repost it? That'd be so fun.
it's gonna be so frustrating. It was on a show called Freedom's Phoenix with Ernie Hancock, and if anyone is listening to us right now, Motorist knows exactly who Ernie Hancock is.
Motorist is
And
on the chat. Motorist is here.
anyone listening to me on Ernie Hancock would be so frustrated they might actually break their listening medium, whether it's their laptop or their cell phone.
Which brings me to my point. Okay. There's people that every single show comment like, oh, Tone doesn't know what he's talking about. He's so, all over the place, wishy-washy or whatever. Just buy and hold Bitcoin. Tone has been saying for over a decade to buy Bitcoin. Before you could even read, this motherfucker was telling you to buy Bitcoin. Shut the fuck up. All right. That's it.
That's a
That's
good
it.
way to end it. That's a good way to end it. And this current 4-hour or even 1-hour candle, interesting. When did the 4-hour candle start? Hold on.
We should have.
Oh, the 4-hour candle started at. Okay, so this is the last hour in this 4-hour candle. Yeah, this 4-hour candle has got to push above 117. I'm very skeptical that it will.
Go back and watch my analysis. That's what I said. Okay.
All right.
Talk to you tomorrow. Thank you. Go Bitcoin. Get above 117. Thanks for joining, guys. Like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Tell everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.